Hello, it is Thursday, October 13th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solved. It's a Thursday puzzle today, which means we will have some sort of, interesting theme, complex theme, surprising theme. We'll have to see. And this interesting, complex, or surprising edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Bradley Pirtle, Alex, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. Thank you so much to them for their generous contributions in keeping this channel sustainable. I do very much appreciate that. And if you'd like to become a benefactor yourself and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can look into that at patreon.com/dailysolve. Or if you'd like to become a patron at any level and get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, you can find that as well at patreon.com/dailysolve. And thank you to everybody who is a patron. I do very much appreciate that. It does help keep this channel going. And there's a link in the description field underneath the video where you can also find a link to the Daily Solve Discord chat server. And there is an extra channel on there, by the way, if you're a Patreon backer. I haven't mentioned that much recently, but that's also true. Otherwise, free to join. And what else? What else? I don't know. Let's move on to the puzzle. Do subscribe to the channel as well. That's what else, I guess. So this is a Thursday crossword constructed by Lewis Rothline, who's constructed around a handful of puzzles, 8 or 9, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. And like I said, it's a Thursday puzzle, so there will be some sort of clever theme, probably. We'll have to see what's going on. Let's start solving. Extended feature of Hey Jude and Layla. A refrain? Go on, do something funny. Amuse me? No idea if that's correct. Coda. Is it the coda? The sort of, yeah, that maybe that makes more sense than a refrain, although I can't remember if the coda is the same as the refrain in these songs. Anyway, the coda, the sort of bit at the end, essentially, to put it simply, I suppose, and it's repeated kind of indefinitely with a fade out. So mankind, biblically, I hope that's right. This could be wrong, but let's check the downs. Consumer's energy source, informally, carbohydrate? Not sure if that's right. Mankind, biblically, Adam? Is that old music halls? Yeah, okay, so an Odeon or Odia. Is that how you'd spell that? 16 tons singer, often. Oh, 16 tons. Yeah, right. That's a bass part. So basso? Basso? Would we... Why are we doing it? Why aren't we just saying bass? Glue amounts often. You could have a dab of glue. I feel as though I keep being skeptical of things in this area, but I don't think it's for thematic reasons. I think I'm just not quite certain about these answers. Sunset shade. Oh, here we go. This looks like it's thematic. Sunset shade, parentheses, MT. So Montana, maybe? Is that? I don't know if that's what's going on there. This looks like maybe it's going to spell Rebus. What about this? Dressed nicely with up. Tog up. Nope, not Rebus. Rebut. So do I think all of this is correct? I think it probably is. What about this? Props can build it up. You can give someone props and build up their ego, perhaps. And what about this down? Sorry. I am sorry? Doesn't really seem right. Okay, heat setting in brief. It's meaningful work for short. What's this one? EastEnders broadcaster with the, okay, well, EastEnders is a one of the long-running soaps here in the UK, and it runs on the BBC, the Beeb. I think that's what that is looking for. So heat setting in brief. Still not sure about that. Meaningful work. Maybe the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary. Sunset shade. Rebut. Red. Sorry, I'm just not quite understanding. Extra. Additional. ADDL. Oh, rebutted. What on earth does that mean? Oh, there's a butte in the middle of this? Oh, red. Oh, right. Oh, okay. So we have sunset shade, which I guess is red, and then in parentheses, we have MT, which is a mountain, I guess. And so here, kind of almost if you imagine red kind of being the parentheses around the butte, we have butte or sort of a kind of mountain, I guess, inside of a sunset shade, which is red. Wow, okay. I think that's what's going on there. What about this? Sorry, not sorry. There we go. And heat setting in brief. Right, Heat. The Heat is it the Miami Heat is a basketball team. So an NBA, National Basketball Association team. So the NBA is the setting, the sort of area for the Heat. Okay, so that all worked out. So I'm more confident in that whole area now. What else can we do? Best New American Play Award. An Obie? Yeah, I think that's the Obies are for plays in the U.S. So Start of an Objection, Texas. Okay, no, is that Texas or not? Maybe was this maybe not mountain, but maybe it is Montana? Because this looks like Texas. Maybe that's misdirection. I don't know. I mean, Montana has buttes. Sorry, my eye is sort of hurting. Let's see. Start of an objection. I was thinking, before I looked at the clue, I was thinking this was going to be black because that's another color, like red. But maybe it's not. Start of an objection. Oh, I don't know. What about this? It's played in the 5 across informally. It's played in the NBA b-ball, maybe? There we go, basketball. Do something amazing for another. I'm not sure. Gives blank, attempts. Gives a shot. Attempt something, you give it a shot. Booty spot, PA. So again, this looks like Pennsylvania. Oh, and then, right, we do have our revealer here. Does that help? Runoff, or how to make the answers to 17, 21, 34, 44, and 53 across fit their clues. Run off. How to make them fit their clues. Boy, I'm not sure. Careful where you open this indicator. And squeezed out, eked out, maybe? It's a pretty classic crossword word, eked out, or eke. 15 across, focus. Oh, OED focus. Definition? Or usage? So that's the Oxford English Dictionary focus. Oh, I'm not sure. Bottle blank. I don't know, maybe eked is wrong. Some items and purses for short. I'm not really sure about that either. Maybe has an S on the end, though. Words, WDs? That would still allow this to be eked. Careful where you open this indicator. Run off. I don't know, skedaddle? Doesn't really fit, nor does it really make sense with the rest of the revealer. I don't know. Clairvoyance claim, ESP maybe, extrasensory perception, someone who claims to be a clairvoyant. Isolates, in a way. Silos, maybe? Silos is a way to say isolates. A bird in flight for Lufthansa. Not sure what that wants. I mean, Lufthansa is an airline. What is a bird in? Oh, maybe that's must be their logo. Okay, that makes sense. So after, before, that's a fun clue. So What this looks like to me is a word for after that is archaic, but I'm not sure what it wants. Lumpy citrus, an ugly fruit, and apt rhyme for fit. Well, it'll end with T. Suit? No, that doesn't rhyme with fit. But it is sort of a synonym in a way. A snit is if you're having a fit, you're having a snit, you're in a bit of a snit, that person, if you see what I mean, so sort of throwing a bit of a tantrum, that might be it. Okay. And birds whose eyes don't move. Owls? Yeah. Birds whose eyes don't move. Is that true? Huh. I didn't know that if so. After, before. Oh, okay. It doesn't mean before meaning archaic. It means before, so a prefix. So post is something that goes before a word to indicate that that thing comes after. All right. Enjoyed something with relish, say. You ate it up, maybe? And to run off is to skip town. Oh, right. Oh, it's Butte, Montana. That's the name of a town. Skip town. So how to make the answers fit their clues. Why does that describe this? Sunset shade. Montana. Why is that what that is? Skip town, sorry. I don't know. I feel very embarrassed. I can't seem to understand why that's skip town. Is it just that we're skipping over? We're starting to spell sunset shade and then we're just skipping over the town. Is that what it is? Sorry. I'm going to keep going. Okay, start of an objection. I'm not sure about that one. Unequaled, ever. Unequaled, ever. All time? That's the all-time, best crossword. That's the unequaled ever crossword. That seems actually reasonable, even though you wouldn't think of that as being a synonym. It sort of is actually in language. Encumbered is laden, maybe. Okay, like lays are floral. That's a floral garland from Hawaii. And many morality tales, fables, many fables are morality tales. They literally end with a moral, in fact. If something's in the mail, it's been sent. And hairy twin in a Bible story. Oh, Esau. And does that help with this? Start of an objection, Texas. Oh, but. But could be an objection. B-U-T. So, Laredo, Texas. Blared out. There we go. So do these mean anything? Rebutted, blared out. Those sort of have a vaguely similar, I don't know, tone, I guess, but they're not really synonyms per se. Churchill portrayer in 2017's Darkest Hour. Oh, Gary Oldman played Churchill in that film. If someone was laid up, they could be laid up in a hospital bed or at home. Devil's bargain, so to speak, is a bad deal, ultimately, even if it seems like a good one originally. And to serve as a go-between two people is to liaise between them, to be a liaison. And then a fruit liqueur from Italy. Limoncello. It's a lemon liqueur. And it may be hard to follow, hard act to follow, you can often say. Attempts could be tries. And if you're all ears, you are alert to what is going on. Actress Harper of No Country for Old Men. Not sure. It looks like Terry to me, but I'm not sure offhand. Bluff, to bluff say is to lie. You could be bluffing in a I don't know, in a game, for instance, and sort of implicitly lying. And I think that's what the say is doing there. To bluff and to lie aren't necessarily precisely the same thing, but you could say, oh, well, if you're bluffing in a certain sense or in a certain context, that's effectively a lie. So I think that's what the say is doing there. Okay, they're the pits, Arizona. Okay, so now that we certainly know that these are states with cities in them. So they're the pits. Well, it'll end with S, won't it? Holes? Mesa, Arizona is a town. This would be tough if you didn't have any sort of U.S. geographical familiarity, I think. These are not major cities, really. Butte, Laredo, Mesa. I mean, Laredo, probably the best known of those, followed by Mesa. But not, I wouldn't say household names worldwide. Oh, Tess Harbor, maybe not Terry. To throw something out is to toss it. There we go. Dispense without meted. You mete out rations, for instance, you dispense them. And their scores are on some college applications. GEDs, maybe? What are that? General education degrees or something like that, in lieu of a diploma, perhaps. And then to go to a show, for instance, is to see that show, straightforwardly enough. And sounds of realizations could be ahs, I see. And blank, no, not blank, it's just about up to here. Yay high, you could say, right. Fill it about up to here. Fill it yay high, you could say, indicating. And do something amazing for another. Oh, to be a hero. There we go. So the BA was correct. Didn't quite have the end. Be a hero. Manhattan component. Not sure. Oh, Manhattan, the cocktail, not the borough of New York City. So rye whiskey component of a Manhattan cocktail. There we go. And booty spot, question mark, Pennsylvania. Oh, well, we already have a town in here, Erie, Pennsylvania, so we can remove that from our booty spot. A chest, pirate's chest, in which their booty, their treasure, has been hidden, cached. So cheeriest. Okay, so that doesn't seem like we have rebutted, blared out, cheeriest. Yeah, I don't think those have any connection. But let's keep going. Longtime CBS procedural. Oh, this will be one of the sort of CSIs, one of those. Opposite of an exception. And documentary now cable channel originally. Oh, I'm not sure. PBS maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. Holsts the planets for one. A cycle. It's a cycle of music. Does that fit this? Maybe not, I don't know. C looks odd. What about this? Sounds exciting, sincerely or sarcastically. Oh, wow, right, that could certainly be sincere or sarcastic. Opposite of an exception, a norm, right, it's not the exception, it's the norm, or vice versa. Okay, and if something is going both ways, it's reversible? There we go, that looks like that. Maybe works, although this looks odd. Documentary now cable channel originally. Not sure. Oh wow could be. I mean, I suppose there are other things other than oh wow this could be, but I'm not certain reversible is correct. And I have no clue about this documentary now thing. Congress created media giant. I don't know. Maybe that one's PBS? I don't know. Painful effort. Blank milk. Mother's milk or evidence provider for some citations. Evidence provider for some citations. A bibliography? That doesn't really fit. Seoul, Utah. Seoul, Utah. Loan or something like that? Does that work? I don't know. That's just much too wide open. I don't know enough Utah towns to just go through a list in my head. What about this? Careful where you open this indicator. Is that like a bottle of harmful substances or something? What on earth? Bottle. Some items in purses for sure. IDs? Identifications? Bottle fed. That's something, isn't it? A chicken can, some kind of, can animals, I mean, obviously babies can be bottle fed, but I mean, is this, I feel like this is maybe a term that's applied to some, I don't know. Oh, not safe for work. Careful where you open this indicator. Not safe for work. That's funny. Okay, so I was on the completely wrong track with that. So what about this? Soul. Well, that N actually just ended up being what I thought it was going to be. What we thought they were, like the bears, but it doesn't help me get the town from Utah, so I'll need something else. Poet who originated the phrase, "For whom the bell tolls." Was it Poe or was it not? I can't remember. Evidence provider for some citation. I don't think it was. Because I think Poe was referencing that, not originating it. Anyway, evidence provider for some citations. Oh boy, this is going to be one of those those real struggles of an ending, I think. Withdraw is, I don't know, retreat or take out or something like that. Jamaican sprinter Thompson Harrow with 5 Olympic golds. I don't know. I never know these sort of Olympic things. Did some campaign work. You leafleted or canvassed or called. I mean, that's too vague, I think. Called. Campaigned. Obviously, that doesn't work because campaign's already in the answer and it's too long. Ready informally and then move informally. A relocation, a move. Does that help at all? Utah. Boy, this is a tough theme, I think, for people. I mean, I think for a lot of people, including myself, but I think just even more so if you don't already have any of this knowledge in your head. Withdraw, to D something. Ready informally. Jamaican sprinter. And did some campaign work. I mean, it might end with ED. So is that helpful at all? Blank milk. Blank milk. I just don't know what that is. I mean, with that D here, there's probably also an E here, but I just don't know where to go with this one, so that's not helping. Soul. So if it were alone and this were an L, because the L couldn't be at the beginning because of relo, blank milk. Withdraw debit. Malted milk? Is that something? Is that something to do with, I think that's something. Is that what a malted sort of milkshake has? What is malted milk? I think that's something. Withdraw. I don't know, decant? There's this ongoing thing about renovation of the Houses of Parliament here in the UK, in London specifically, here in London. And it's an old building dating from the 19th century. Most of it dates from the 19th century. And it's incredibly unsafe, and there are all sorts of fire risks and electrical risks. But and so it needs really significant renovation. And so there have been for years debates about should Parliament evacuate the building for years so that they could renovate the whole thing, because that would allow it to be done much more quickly than if they all keep working and just have to work around the renovations, which would mean they didn't have to leave the building, but it'll take much, much, much longer and it'll probably be more expensive. It'll certainly be more expensive. And anyway, the proposal to have them all leave the building for some number of years is always referred to as the full decant, which I just think is incredibly funny and quaint. But anyway, that's why that came to mind. Withdraw, decant. So does that help? Oh, Dunn. I thought this was maybe John Dunn, but I didn't think I was certain enough to put it in, which I wasn't. But with that N, that's my guess. Okay. So, oh, Provo, Utah, and provolone cheese? So soul is lone. Right, the sole person, the lone person, so not alone. So I really thought that they had to be surrounded. I thought that the parenthetical element of this clue was that the kind of, if you see the bit in Utah is kind of, enclosed in the parenthetical. So I thought that's what was going on there, but no, apparently not. Because here we have lone, and as is often the case with the themes, the constructor has done it in such a way where we sort of get ourselves accustomed to the theme generally, and then they kind of subvert it later on in the puzzle once we've done a few this kind of normal way, I guess. Anyway, let's see if that helps. Ready informally. Oh, is it PDQ or something? No, I don't think this is decant. After all of that, sorry. Do I still think these are right? I think so. Withdraw, recant, to recant your testimony or something. That is better. Sorry. Well, you got to pointlessly hear a story about something that actually isn't really particularly in the political news now because there are much more pressing things going on, I guess. Ready informally, to prep yourself, to ready yourself. This looks like Elaine Thompson-Hara, although maybe I shouldn't put that in just yet because I don't know. Did some campaign work. Polled, maybe? Yeah, you polled and conducted a political poll. Painful effort is what? Painful effort is a travail, maybe? Trials and travails? That would allow this to be Elaine. Boy, I have just been spending tons of time on this part of the grid, haven't I? Evidence provider for some citations. Well, I don't know. Congress created media giant. NPR, maybe? National Public Radio? Is there any way that's true? Sounds exciting. Oh, man? Yeah, I mean, that could be... I don't really know that... Oh, man means sounds exciting, sarcastically, though, so maybe not. Do I think this is right? Oh, reciprocal. Going both ways. You reciprocate. Go the other way. Yeah, okay. Holst the planet for one. Oh, a suite. Right, not a cycle, but a suite. I guess a cycle is used more often for song cycles, whereas the planets, that music isn't really songs. I should have mentioned this is referring to music. Sorry, that didn't mention that previously. And I'm doing that little dance around the cursor thing. Sorry, I remember not to do that. Longtime CBS procedure. Oh, NCIS. This is the naval one, maybe? This came up before. And documentary now, oh, is it the Independent Film Channel? It must be. And then sounds exciting is, oh, fun. Right, okay, that could certainly be sincere or sarcastic. So do I have this all right? I do. Okay. There we go. That was tricky, I will say. Really had a tough time down here. Kind of, I think, went relatively smoothly through most of the puzzle. I mean, I certainly didn't just dance through start of an objection, Texas, for instance, but the crosses were, I was able to get the crosses fairly reasonably quickly. But then down here, I was just absolutely held up. Really struggled. What did I struggle with? Withdraw, recant, going both ways, reciprocal, this painful effort. I didn't have to hide most of the crosses. And then what was this? Evidence provider for some citations. Radar. Oh, citations as in if a police citation, you're given a speeding citation, and the evidence is the speed at which you were traveling as measured by radar. That's what it is. Wow, I was not in the right area at all for that. That's a sort of Friday or Saturday kind of misdirection, I think. But it's perfectly welcome here. Okay, so that was malted milk. We had be a hero, right? So yeah, just a tough little section of the grid for me. Curious to know if others struggled in the same area for the same reasons, or how that went for you. Let me know. And otherwise, yeah, a fun puzzle. So let's just quickly review our theme here. We had our sunset shade in Montana. So we had Butte in red. We had our start of an objection, Texas, blared out, including Laredo. Laredo inside of but to make blared out. We had our booty spot in Pennsylvania, So we put our chest around Erie, Pennsylvania, and we had they're the pits, holes around Mesa, Arizona, and finally our sole loan following Provo, Utah, to make provolone cheese. And all of that was skipping town. So to fit their clues. Oh, right. So maybe it's that the clues skip the town. How to make the answers fit their clues. Maybe it kind of means both things. It means that the answers have skipped the town. There's no town in it. And then also the sort of principal part of the clue is kind of skipping over the town in the answer. I don't know which of those is more correct. I think the second one is mainly what it means. But anyway, there we have it. That was a slightly opaque, but it was one of those themes that's consistent with itself. I just don't, I'm not confident I 100% am parsing the revealer exactly in the way it's meant. And that happens sometimes, and I'm sorry about that. But there we have it. That was the puzzle for Thursday, October 13th. And now let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle, shall we? So what did we have? Spikel Thing explains that the vestibular system is the part of the ear that deals with balance, spatial awareness, and motion. I figured that was what it was going to be, the balance bit, but I didn't know, so I didn't say. It also is part of the reason some people experience motion sickness. For example, if you are a passenger in a car and reading, your eyes will be telling your brain that you are stationary, whilst the vestibular system in the inner ear will be telling your brain that you're moving. It is this conflicting information that causes motion sickness. Makes perfect sense. And Sarah S. corrects, I think, a pretty common bit of misunderstanding. The K in CMYK stands for key, as black ink is typically used as the key. I also used to think it was a K as in black, so it wasn't confused with blue. So thank you for that. That was certainly a misconception I've had for a long time. So CMYK, the ink system, cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. K is for key rather than the K in black. And Jacques CA says, and the key can be changed for other tones and colors. That's interesting. So it doesn't even need to be black. Brian Parente explains that the movie channel, TMC, as clued in yesterday's puzzle, is a different U.S. cable channel to Turner Classic Movies, TCM. Thank you for that. I had no idea that there was a TMC and a TCM that apparently serve at least somewhat overlapping functions. That's incredibly confusing. And that's that. Thank you, Brian Parente. We had the movie channel and Turner Classic Movies. Thank you. And that's that for the clues from yesterday's puzzle. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. Let me know if you got as stuck on it as I did. And I'll be back tomorrow for the Friday puzzle. No theme, so there's at least one way in which I will be less confused than I was today, but who knows, that may be replaced by new confusions. We'll just have to find out tomorrow. Until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.